Speedrun.com has a lot of games and categories on it to speedrun. Pretty much any game you could think to speedrun, there's a leaderboard for it. But that doesn't mean that every game has a bunch of times and runners on those leaderboards. Seeing that, I thought, what's stopping me from grabbing as many of these speedrun world records as I can in these games that have no runs recorded? This brings us to IT Simulator, a simple but fun two-player co-op experience with a little bit of horror and strategy mixed in. After casually playing it with a friend, we realized that it was honestly a good couple hours of fun. After looking, only one pair of people had submitted times on Speedrun.com for world record runs. Thinking we could do better, I grabbed my buddy Sam and we began grinding, not just to take these world records for ourselves, but have solid runs that we could be proud of that wouldn't be easily beaten by somebody else who came along. So first, what is IT Simulator? One of you is the cameraman. Their job is to survey the building and guide the other player to a set of terminals that must be activated for them to escape. The first terminal is always identifiable on the cameraman's computer. Then after that, the other player gets a list of locations that they need to go to access more terminals. The cameraman can close doors and look on the cameras to see if any danger is approaching the man on the ground. One thing I haven't mentioned yet is this guy. On each level, he is the game's main threat and will patrol the map randomly, and on some levels, he'll even attempt to access the cameraman's room to kill him and triangulate the technician's position to find him. Once he gets line of sight of the technician, it's pretty much game over. With the basics out of the way, let's take a look at the levels. Level 1 is very straightforward. There's 3 terminals, 2 of which you have to hit, and the power switch is right in the middle of the map with the exit on the bottom of the map. The HR office and conference room are very far apart from one another, but the cubicles is the most risky spot, being right in the middle. Ideally, you want to have the second switch that you have to hit be in the cubicles, because then you can just go straight to the power switch and leave right after. Our best time on this level was a 109. Level 2 is tough, but the final rush can be easy. There's 5 terminals, but you only have to hit 3 of them. Runs that have a required terminal in the bottom portion of the map are definitely more time consuming, but the upper ones are riskier in terms of dying. The dash at the end is relatively straightforward because it's easy to get the monster far away from you. We ended this one with a 231, our second world record. Level 3 is arguably the most RNG dependent level. It's a big square with hallways that can connect the edges of the map, but it's completely random which ones spawn. There are 5 terminals to hit, and 4 total are required. Good RNG is when you have 2 required terminals in the lab and 1 in the testing range, so you can save time traversing the map. Our best time on this level was a 227. Level 4 is one of the easier levels for sure. You have a storage warehouse with 2 smaller rooms connecting them. Not much to talk about in this one. The monster seems to hang out in the bottom area a lot and tries to attack the cameraman a good bit, giving the technician plenty of time to get his terminals done and escape. Our fastest time on this level was a 214. Finally, we have level 5. This one can be a little annoying, but it's very simple because every terminal is required. The main frustration is that there's these office items that alert the monster when you get too close to him. These are here in other levels, but they're the most annoying here. The monster is pretty easy to track using audio cues, but he can spot you seemingly randomly when you're hiding behind these pillars in the middle of the map. At the end, you have to run and hit this generator, then run to the exit. Our fastest time ended up being a 156, our 5th world record for this game. With all levels completed and 5 world records now under our belt, we decided to go back and get the last world record that we needed for beating all levels back to back. Here's how our run went. One cool thing you'll notice about this run is every level we actually switch off who's the technician and who's the cameraman. Our level 1 started with having to go to the conference room, I hit the terminal, and our second stop was HR. One slight time loss because the cubicles is closer. The monster was in between conference room and HR, so I had to go around, losing us about 5 seconds of time. With the monster camping near the elevator, I was forced to hit the switch and run as fast as I can and hope that his AI went the wrong way. Sure enough, it did, and we ended this level with about a 124. On level 2, we had an immediate time loss because our first terminal was in Machine Shop, which is the most out-of-the-way terminal compared to all the rest. After accidentally spooking the monster early on, Sam hit the terminal, and he had to go to the furthest terminal away from him, and one that was right in the open where the monster could easily catch him off guard. After hitting the top terminal in records, he went down to the material storage, and all he had to do was make the final run to the end. There were plenty of doors for me to close on the monster, so he was able to get out, and we ended level 2 5 minutes and 2 seconds in. Our level 3 started with me having to go to the top of the map to clean room. Then, due to the monster's position, we went to labs, then artifact analysis, and finally ended with testing range. After hitting the switch and running as quick as I could, we ended level 3 about 7 minutes and 3 seconds into the run. Our level 4 was pretty clutch. The first terminal was directly across from spawn, and Sam immediately hit the second terminal in the bottom of the map in the artifact analysis room. Sam actually gets spotted, but puts the moves on the monster, and leaves the room to go hit the other 2 required terminals. We ended level 4 at 10 minutes and 42 seconds into the run. Lastly, on level 5, after triggering the monster's attention immediately, there's a nice strategy where you can just follow right behind him because he doesn't turn around, and go from room to room, getting all the terminals you need. After making the final stretch, we closed out the run with a solid 12:53. And there you have it, 6 world records with 1 game. If you like this video, please be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on any additional content like this. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.